afternoon. Here is the news afternoon. First, the highlights. Lagos State seeks collaboration with federal government to bolster nation's industries. Federal government calls for humane process as United States moves to deport 85 Nigerians. Unwarranted in United Kingdom set to deploy troops to Ukraine. And in sports, Spanish giant Atletico Madrid declares interest in Super Eagles star Wilfred Ndidi. And now the details. I am Mike James. Lagos State Governor Babajide Sanwo-Olu has stressed the need for a collaborative effort between the state and federal governments to bolster the nation's industries. Speaking through the Deputy Governor, Obafemi Hamzat, while receiving the Minister of State for Industry, John Enna, on a courtesy call at the Deputy Governor's official residence, Osborne Road, Ikoyi, Lagos. The Governor noted that the partnership will drive economic growth and prosperity owing to the critical role industries play in shaping our nation's economy. Sanwo-Olu noted that by working together, government can create an environment conducive to industrial development, ultimately benefiting the nation as a whole. He stated that the government needs to make a new approach in interfacing with the business industry, citing the example of companies that left because they felt the government does not positively influence the industry. The governor thanked President Bola Tinubu for creating a ministry that will interface with the industries to solve their challenges and create an enabling environment for them to thrive. Minister of State for Industry, Trade and Investment, John Enna, said the team is currently in Lagos for an industrial tour to gain first-hand insight into the constraints and challenges faced by industries in the country. The Lagos Waste Management Authority, LOMA, has issued a stern warning to property owners, agents and private occupiers in the state to desist from illegal recycling and scavenging in unlicensed facilities. It also advised them to halt indiscriminate sorting, dumping, and trading of recyclable waste in their facilities and in public spaces around them. Managing Director, Chief Executive Officer of LOMA, Muyiwa Gbadigeshi, noted that such activities not only degrade the city's aesthetic appeal, but also disrupts the rights of property owners, contributing to serious environmental hazards. Gbadigeshi urged residents and stakeholders to utilize only licensed recycling facilities and registered waste collectors to ensure proper waste management in Lagos, encouraging the populace to report illegal activities through LOMA's official channels. He advised property owners, businesses and the public to take this final warning seriously and avoid actions that could lead to serious legal repercussions. The Lagos government has directed the reopening of Okiari Gorodo Market in Lagos Island following the signing of an undertaking by the traders for environmental cleanliness. Commissioner for the Environment and Water Resources Tokunbo Wahab gave the directive when he led state officials on an inspection tour of the markets which were closed over 2 weeks ago due to flagrant disregard for the state environmental laws. Wahab also gave a 48-hour quick notice to all traders, stall owners under Idumota, Ibutero police post overhead for indiscriminate erection of attachment stalls, which is constituting dangers and environmental nuisance. He emphasized the need for everyone, including traders, at all markets to prioritize environmental cleanliness in order to prevent spread of diseases. Wahab also recalled that the state government had banned styrofoam over a year ago as a result of its adverse effect on human health and the drainage channels, urged some traders who are still using and littering the market environment with the banned item to stop. He emphasized that global warming and climate change is real. As such, everyone must become responsible in order to push back the climate challenges and affect as much as possible. And now to the rest of the stories. The Minister of State for Foreign Affairs, Bianca Odumegu Ojukwu, has urged the United States to adhere to established protocols when deporting immigrants from its territory. She made this appeal in Abuja following a visit by the U.S. ambassador to Nigeria, Richard Mills Jr. Odumegwu Ojukwu highlighted the emotional and financial distress faced by many Nigerians in the U.S. since the new administration signaled its intention to deport certain categories of immigrants. The minister revealed that around 201 Nigerians are currently in U.S. immigration camps, with approximately 85 already cleared for deportation. She noted that deportation affects not just those being repatriated, but also their families in Nigeria, who depend on their remittances for survival and education. Ojukwu emphasized the need for deported individuals to be treated with dignity and allowed to settle their affairs before returning. In response, the U.S. ambassador, Richard Mills Jr., stated that repatriated Nigerians will be returned to Lagos with no consideration for alternative destinations like Port Harcourt or Abuja. Kano State Governor Abba Yusuf has warned teachers, prohibiting them from involving students in hard labor both on and off school grounds. This is contained in a statement issued by his spokesperson, Sunusi Dawakin Tofa. The governor emphasized that schools are for education and moral guidance, not for manual labor. During an unscheduled visit to the school for Arabic studies in Kano, the governor had found students digging a toilet pipeline. The governor, who was visibly displeased, questioned the headmaster about assigning such task to students, assuring the school management that his administration would renovate all dilapidated buildings. Yusuf also instructed that school projects should be submitted to the Ministry of Education or his office for execution. And in some foreign news, United Kingdom Prime Minister Keir Starmer says he is prepared to deploy troops to Ukraine if needed. His comments come as Europe's leaders meet in Paris this afternoon to discuss Ukraine defense and address Washington's shock policy shift on the war. Meanwhile, U.S. Secretary of State Marco Rubio is heading to Saudi Arabia for talks with Russia about Ukraine, which are expected to begin on Tuesday. U.S. President Donald Trump sidelined Kyiv and its European backers last week by calling his Russian counterpart Vladimir Putin to talk about beginning negotiations to end the conflict, which prompted European leaders to hasten to Paris for top-level talks on the continent's security. Meeting in Paris last week, the foreign ministers of France, Germany and Spain insisted that any just and lasting peace deal in Ukraine could not be achieved without involvement of Kyiv and its European partners. It will be recalled that Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky had on Saturday called for the creation of a European army, arguing the continent could no longer count on Washington. And over to sports news. Atletico Madrid remains interested in signing Leicester City Nigerian midfield star Wilfred Ndidi. Ndidi was close to leaving Leicester in the January transfer window, but the club decided to keep the player in order to fight for their survival in the league this season. Atletico is still interested in signing the 28-year-old midfielder at the end of the season. Although Ndidi's playing time has been limited this season, the club sees him as valuable for the depth he provides to the squad. Ndidi is starting to get more minutes for Rod van Nistelrooy's side after overcoming a hamstring injury earlier in the season. Along with Atletico Madrid, AS Monaco and Real Betis are expected to return for the midfielder in the summer transfer window on a loan deal. And that was our news at 12. But just before we go, your vehicle is not a strong room. Please keep your valuables off the view of miscreants. You can follow us and like all our various social media platforms: X, Traffic Radio 961, Facebook, Lagos Traffic Radio 96.1 FM, Instagram, Lagos Traffic Radio 961. Subscribe and watch our news and programs. It's live on YouTube, Traffic Radio 961. And you can also visit our website, www.trafficradio961.ng. Did you know that under the Sanwo-Olu administration, over 1,932 companies indicated interest to take on graduate intern after their training program designed to expose them in hands-on work experience? You can get more details on the Lagos State Government website. And to end the news, here are the highlights of the major stories. Lagos State Governor Babajide Sanwo-Olu has stressed the need for a collaborative effort between state and federal governments to bolster the nation's industries. The Minister of State for Foreign Affairs, Bianca Ojukwu, has urged the United States to adhere to established protocols when deporting immigrants from its territory. We also told you that United Kingdom Prime Minister Keir Starmer said he is prepared to deploy troops to Ukraine if needed, hours before European leaders meet in Paris to address Washington's shock policy shift on the war. And in sports, Atletico Madrid has declared interest in signing Leicester City Nigerian midfield star Wilfred Ndidi. And for contact with the newsroom, send a message to info@trafficradio961.ng. That ends the news broadcast. It was compiled by Adeswa Ejoyeka. Thank you for listening, Lagos. My name is Mike James. Beautiful afternoon to you.